It's hard for me to ask for things from people, and like I'm a very shy person, so me asking, I feel like maybe I probably owe the person something. So
How for you jump now?
I was coming back from a class, one of our classes one day, and then I saw the construction site at the back of my previous hostel. And then the next day, I went to the site. It's a three-story building, so I was told to carry uh, 12 buckets of sand up to the last floor, and then fetch water, and also 10 buckets of granite. The construction site was at the backyard of my previous hostel. So when my classmates came outside and then our roommate and our neighbor was there like, now Jennifer be that too. They started laughing at me and I felt bad. One of the days we had exams, I was going to go drop my bag at the podium, and a friend a customer just drawed me back and like, Jennifer, is it true that you're working here? I was shocked. I was embarrassed because the class was filled. Then I just removed my hand and then walked there like, and so.
At 20, Jennifer Ifemoge is already a hustler with a tough heart and a never give up attitude. The 200 level undergraduate of the University of Benin works at the construction site just behind the school premises just so that she won't disturb her parents to pay her bills in school. In this latest episode of the Naija Woman series, the young lady told our correspondent that she will stop the hustle when she has gathered enough to pay her bills in school. Welcome to Legit TV. My name is Damla Kola.
If I were to be at home maybe during the holidays, I work as a sales girl in Gatankowa on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So I sell market like we also, that's what we basically call it, and then that's what I do at home in Lagos.
What do you hustle? You say you market what? What do you sell? Like
Clothes, female clothings. That's what we sell. Like
Ga-
and yeah,
Gatankowa, Katangwa,
Gatankowa or super. We call it super. Yeah,
Wale Poja.
exactly. Super lip yeah, right.
Right, we saw your picture of you hustling at the building site on the social media. How did you come about that?
Actually, I was having some issues financially. That was at the beginning of first semester at 200 level. And then I had to squat with a coursemate. And so then I was like, okay, I can't get comfortable in someone else's space. And besides, even if they were very accommodating, I still have to sort myself. And besides, my I would have to. Most of the time, my parents don't like send things to me in school, so I just have to look for something else to do and support myself. I even if my parents send it, I'm not the only child. They basically have other responsibilities, so I can't keep on waiting for them all the time. So then at first I got this dry cleaning job. I did it for 1 week, but then I got fired because the manager said like the company doesn't have enough fund to pay every worker, so he sacked me. And then just I was coming back from a class, one of our classes one day, and then I saw the construction site at the back of my previous hostel, my classmates hostel, and then I was like, well, if I can do Katangwa work, I can certainly pull this one off because somehow almost the same amount of stress and energy you have to put in, because you have to carry something on your head. You have to push something also, like, okay, maybe the next day I'll try it. And then the next day I went to the site. I met the engineer, and then the engineer was like, "You want to work here?" I said, "Yes." And like, "Why? You are a girl, you can't do something like that." Like, it doesn't mean everybody works. I have to work because I actually needed the money for something urgent. Like, no, you can't. I had to beg him, and then he was like, "Okay, I should come back the next day to start working." And then I left. And then when I went there the next morning, as early as after 6 a.m., 6 a.m., and then we waited for other workers to come. And then when they came, they told me it's a 3-story building, so I was told to carry 12 buckets of sand up to the last floor, and then fetch water, and also 10 buckets of granite. And then after doing all of that, we had to move to the 3rd floor to carry granite. So I lost count of how many 8 pounds of granite I carried. It was while we were on break. Like, I had finished pouring my 8 pan, my portion, and then I was just waiting. Then one of my colleagues was with his phone, and like, "Hey, can you just take a picture? It's been a while. I updated my media on Twitter." And so, like, okay, he snapped me, and I didn't take my phone to the place. So while he was leaving, I asked him to wait. So I went back to the hostel, picked my phone, then he transferred the photos to me, and then I posted them on Twitter. But then that day, I got paid 4,000 naira for working at the site. That was the amount of work I did. And so then when I got to my hostel, my course mate and my roommates were like, "Wait, how much were you paid? What happened?" I'm like, "Well, I was paid for it." Like, "Wow, that was nice. Maybe we'll follow it the next day." Like, "Okay, no problem. There is work for everybody." And so I don't usually get lots of engagement on Twitter. Right. The highest likes I've gotten was 70 something. So I thought it would just be like the normal ones, and then, I mean, it's just me working. I mean, no one would even pay attention or anything. So I posted it, and then within 35 minutes to an hour, my course mate and our roommates who were also following me on Twitter were like, "Jennifer, seems like, like say this is on the blow." Like, "You sure?" So I went back to Twitter, and then I saw like, like say this thing serious. So then before I knew it, I started receiving commendations, cash donations, and of course, the other ones, hashtags, and, well, some I basically didn't reply to the negative comments. I only was just saying thank yous and thank yous to those who replied something that was okay by me. So, like, and then before I knew it, started seeing my friends were sending me screenshots of my tweet on different blogs, and like, wait,
Why is this?
ow! I mean, I never thought it would go viral. I never even expected it to go viral. Then I didn't even have, I only had 1,361 followers. So I was like, I probably won't even get any engagements. Well, that was what happened. That was basically it.
Okay, so you said you worked as a dry cleaner and you were fired. How much were you paid? How much were you supposed to be paid as a dry cleaner?
Well, when I got employed at the place, I was told that for a month it would be 15,000 naira. and then I would go, like, I would have classes in the morning because due to the COVID-19 protocols, our classes were mostly scheduled for morning and sometimes afternoon, late afternoon. So I just make sure, luckily for me, most of my classes this first semester were mostly morning classes. So by 2 or latest after 2, I would be back. So it's a part-time stuff, a part-time job. So I'd go there, start working by 2, then leave there around 2 or 7 in the evening. And so if I had worked for a month, I would have been paid 15,000 naira. But then I got paid 3,650. Was exactly.
Okay, so why did you decide that it was the construction site that you were going to work? Were there other options you had? Was it just the construction site work, or you thought it was the easiest you could find?
That was the only available job I could access as at that time. And I tried dry cleaning, well, that didn't work, and there was basically nothing else that was available. And this one was like, it's a daily payment stuff. You do today, you collect your money. The day you don't go, and for a student like me, well, I would definitely have classes and exams, so I can't even be going every day. Like, okay, any day I'm able to go, I work, and the day I'm not able to, well, that's fine.
How well has this helped you since you started? I mean, when did you start, and how well has this helped you?
I started about 2 weeks ago. That was when we started our first semester exam. So
Talking
we're
about this,
construction site. Yeah.
you started working there about 2 weeks ago. Just 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Started this particular work 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And then I was writing my exams, and then I was also working at the site. So I was juggling between reading for exams and then working at the site. So
Did this affect your exams in any way?
not really, because normally I read at 2 a.m. or 12 a.m. then till 6 a.m. in the morning, and then the job at the construction site was from 7 a.m. So when I go to the construction site, by 3:30 to 4 p.m. in the evening, I'm done. We've closed for the day, so I just go back, rest, eat, and then kind of try to sleep.
So you basically read from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. 6 a.m. you go to work, you start preparing for work, and then you work from like 7 a.m. I guess to like 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Is this a daily routine?
Yep.
So you basically work from 2 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day.
Yeah.
So how, health-wise, how was this for you? How were you able to cope with this seemingly difficult task?
Well, it's an habit I've learned to grow up with, because right from secondary school, I've always been studying at midnight, so I was used to it. And when I gained admission initially to UNIBEN, so I was like, the fresher feeling, and then I wanted to have good grades, at least get a 4 point something CGPA, at least my first year and all of that. So I had already cultivated the habit of reading at night, from midnight to morning. 100 level, I did more than this. I'll read, sometimes I do 2-day break from 11 till 6 a.m. and then during the day I'll take 2-3 hours rest, and then I continue. So and then things changed. 200 level, I had to reduce it to just 2 a.m. till 6 a.m.
What did your friends, some of your colleagues, tell you when you told them, or when they heard that you were doing this kind of job?
The first day I started, because the construction site was at the backyard of my previous hostel. So when my classmates came outside and then our roommate and our neighbors, they're like, "Na Jennifer be that too." They started laughing at me, and I felt bad. Then my colleague was like, "Why are you feeling down because they're laughing at you? They are not the one giving you money. They are not going to support your education or anything. Fine, they are hosting you, but then don't feel bad about it." Like, oh well, all right. So then, and sometimes one of the days we had exams, I was going to go drop my bag at the podium, and a friend just, a customer just drawed me back and like, "Jennifer, is it true that you're working here?" I was shocked. I was embarrassed because the class was filled. Then I just removed my hand and then walked there like, and so, and but then with time I learned to cope with it because it's a legal job. Though it seems it looks dirty or anything, at least I'm getting my urgent 2K from it. So I don't need to feel bad about it. So that was why I was able to post it on Twitter without feeling ashamed of what I do.
Your parents, are they aware that you're doing this as well? What did they say when you first told them that you're doing something this tedious?
Well, when I told my dad about it, he knew about the dry cleaning stuff, but then I had to tell him about this one myself also. And I was like, why would I go to this extent to work? And then I'm like, Dad, you know the situation on ground. I had no choice. They're like, okay, but then it's too stressful for me. I should maybe stop after a while. Like, okay, I'll stop after I've been able to save some money from it and all. And then I was okay with it. My mom doesn't even have any issues so long as she sees you working, and she was cool with it. So that was it.
One of your aims, one of the reasons you're studying so hard, one of the reasons you wake up 2 a.m. to study till about 6 a.m. is to have good grades.
No, not just to have good grades. As even if I have good grades, the grades would remain in the certificates, but then the knowledge I would acquire would remain here. So I want to have like a vast knowledge about my course, about my discipline, and then that when I go out there after graduation, I would know exactly what I'm doing. I would be able to apply whatever it is I've been taught in school outside in the real world. So that's why, and also to pursue my career and my goals. So.
Right. But your study, is it reflecting on your grades, your hard work and everything? Is it reflecting on your grades? Are you having good grades?
Well, for someone who aimed for first class, I don't know. My 100 level, when my results came out for my 100 level, I had a 3.63 CGPA. So I was, I was disappointed. I mean, though some people were like, and it's a good 2-1, it's 2-1. I'm like, I know it's 2-1, but then this wasn't what I was projecting. This wasn't my aim. And then 200 level, I guess I just have to put in more effort.
Hopefully you can graduate with the first class.
Yeah, I definitely will by God's grace with the first class. I'm sure.
So according to your plan, I mean maybe your possible future plan, the nearest future, when do you hope to stop this this business now, this labor work?
I don't plan to do it for long. I don't, because it was due to the issue I was having. That was why I had to do this one. But initially, rightly, I have a job in Lagos, like the Gatankowa work. So anytime we are home for holidays, I go do that one and then I'll save up money. So I have no intention of doing this construction site work for long.
So now Oyibo dey go boutique. Tell us how you sell. How do you market? Because I know a couple of people that bend down, sell legs, sell a pay. Now you both they go boutique.
Gatankowa has it, the hustle and bustle thing. Like you wake up very early, it's a morning market as they say. So I get to work as early as to 6, after 6, and we start selling. It's somewhere you can't sit
Yeah.
because the stores are small, so you have to stand and then you are shouting and you are bending down, pushing piles of clothes backward and forward and like, come and buy your shirt or whatever it is you're selling. Because we
Is
sell.
this actually how you say it? Come and buy.
I
come
shout. I'm just being quiet
And,
because
be modest.
yeah, but in reality, I shout like you have to shout on top of your lungs, and somehow I have this loud voice, and then people will be like, "Stop shouting! You are disturbing. You are obstructing our own sales. Stop shouting!" But then my boss will be like, "Pepper them, Jennifer. Continue shouting. Bring customers. We need the money." And then it was one of the should I say attributes or characteristics my customers used to know me. They'll be like, that girl that used to shout, so then they'll know, okay, that's our store. So that was, and sometimes if I'm not around, some people don't buy from my boss. They'll be like,
Where is that girl?
exactly, it's Jennifer that knows the things I like to buy. So if it's not Jennifer, I'm not buying. I will be like, Jennifer, please, whenever you guys are on break, please come back. So Katanga is there, and you just have to go very early if you want to catch like potential big customers. And stressful. I mean, you have to stand, bending and then shouting, and you would have the good customers and the customers who just want to toy with your goods and then end up not buying anything at all. So.
Okay, so I was going to talk about you being an early riser. I mean, looks like most of the things you do, you wake up pretty early. Is this something that you grew up with or something that you decided to cultivate as a habit?
It's something I decided to cultivate as an habit because immediately I finished my secondary school, I was like, okay, I would need money if I have to go to the university, and my dad's job doesn't really pay well, and I certainly can't depend on that. They have other responsibilities aside from, even if I'm part of their responsibility, at least I should help lessen the burden on them. So the week I finished my junior WAEC, I got this Gatankowa job, and then so my boss told me you have to come very early in the morning. So that was ready, waking up in the morning, stuff came. Yeah.
Okay, so at your construction site, was there, I mean, you've been there for about 2 weeks or more. Has there been a day when you woke up or when you got there and then you thought, gosh, I'm not doing this again? Were there moments when you thought, I'm not coming back here again, and then you still had to go back there?
No. At most, it's like, okay, I just need to take a break. So after maybe carrying a block, maybe dropping a block or something, I just go to one of the empty rooms and just like sit or sleep for a while, and then I wake up, I go back to working. I definitely can't stop. If as at then, but then so that's.
So the motivation is the urgent 2K.
Yes, the urgent 2K. I've never been one to depend on my parents right from time, so then it's hard for me to ask for things from people. And like I'm a very shy person, so me asking, I feel like maybe I probably owe the person something. So for working and having my own money by myself, so that's it.
So if you had your way, you wouldn't do this.
I wouldn't. But then, ever since I posted it on Twitter, no, yeah, very, very proud of myself. I mean, different people, even Nigerians abroad, have been like, wow, well done, and all of that. And some have assisted me, and so I've been able to settle most of the things that actually made me go into working at the construction site. So I basically won't have to go back there if at all. Even if I have to go back there, I want to do it up to 2 days a week now. So, yeah.
But how much is the agreement, the daily pay at the construction site? How much is the agreement?
It depends on the kind of work we are doing that day. If it's casting, it will be 4,000 naira per day. But if it's setting, that setting just have to do with we carrying blocks throughout the entire day. And then one block is 25 naira.
So who counts the number of blocks?
You count it yourself. There's this particular way we arrange the blocks. It's in one of the video I posted on Twitter. There's this particular way we arrange the blocks. So once you arrange it, once you are done, you tell one of the senior workers there. It would also go to confirm and count.
So men looking at it, they can tell.
Yes, the number of blocks. Yeah. And for me, I've only been able to carry 50 blocks. At least not to do too much or too less. And that 50 blocks is 1,250.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time, Jennifer.
Oh, welcome, sir.
How old are you?
20.
20.
Yeah.
How many siblings do you have?
4.
Are you the first, second?
The third, like the middle one, 2 before, 2 after.